Hello there guys, welcome to another of my live videos, and on this video I am going to be giving you an update on some more transfer news. You know, this is your transfer daily show, keeping you up to date with what players are linked with Manchester United and that, and we do of course do this on a regular basis and that. So I'm going to give you some additional information regarding Christian Eriksen. Also going to give you a bit more additional information regarding James Madison. Also going to give you the latest news regarding Jesse Lingard. And of course there is a lot of other things to currently talk about. But the first topic of the development I'm going to start with is Christian Eriksen. Now, according to recent reports, Manchester United have bidded for Christian Eriksen, and the club are aware that is probably not going to cost us a substantial amount. Maybe we're going to have to pay in the region of around 60 or 70 million pounds for him. Now, Christian Eriksen's current contract does expire this summer. So from Tottenham's perspective, you know, they would obviously, you know, want to cash in for him in this January transfer window rather than letting go on a free in the summer, you know, definitely in that. And Christian Eriksen did reveal last summer that he wanted to leave Tottenham to seek for a new challenge. And Tottenham deep down know how much of an imperative player that Christian Eriksen is. It was looking very imminent at one point last summer that he was going to go to Real Madrid. So we obviously, you know, dropped our interest in him towards the back end of the summer transfer window, because obviously, you know, we knew that his preference was a move to Real Madrid and all of that. Tottenham, of course, wanted around £130 million last summer, but I don't think any club that were in for him were determined to pay that much for Eriksen and that. But I think, you know, Christian Eriksen, you know, would be the right calibre player for Manchester United, definitely. He's predominantly an attacking midfielder. You know, I think we are seeing him as an adequate replacement for Paul Pogba and that. But, you know, we look very exposed in that midfield now anyway. Obviously, you know, due to the injuries of Paul Pogba and McTominay. Of course, McTominay is out until February. I've got some good news regarding Paul Pogba. He's had his surgery on his ankle. He's had the operation and according to him, you know, the operation went well. But I think he's still set to be out for another couple of weeks and that. Christian Eriksen is 27 years of age, so he's in his late 20s. He is now into his seventh season with Tottenham. I think in the Premier League for Tottenham, he has made a total of 223 appearances in the Premier League, that is, and he's scored around 51 goals. I think in all competitions he's made over 300 odd appearances in that. Tottenham basically, you know, got him from next to no. They only paid, was it, just over £11 million from Ajax back in 2013 and that. So he's another midfielder on our agenda. But we've actually, you know, been in for Christian Eriksen for quite some time. There was reports emerging out quite a few days ago saying that Inter Milan were set to sign him for just £20 million. So that is a reasonable figure, you know, definitely. But even if Christian Eriksen doesn't leave in this January transfer window, I think he'll leave in the summer, you know, when his current contract does expire. So he still does remain on our agenda. So yeah, gonna give you a bit more news now regarding James Madison. Now, obviously, you know, we've been long admirers of James Madison. Reportedly, you know, we are confident we can sign James Madison this summer. So if we've got any chances of getting him, you know, it probably, you know, will be in this. It's more imminent. It will be in the summer rather than in this January transfer window, because reportedly, you know, Leicester, you know, are reluctant, you know, to sell him in this January transfer window. And this is actually, you know, stemming from Brendan Rodgers. He said that James Madison will not leave this January in that. James Madison for Leicester, since his arrival, he has made a total of 61 appearances in all competitions. Obviously, around 56, 57 of his appearances have come in the Premier League and that. And James Madison is 23 years of age, so he has still got a lot of development in him. development in him. He's Premier League proven, just like Christian Eriksen. He's Premier League proven in that. But again, you know, like I said on the aspects of Christian Eriksen, James Madison is going to cost us a substantial amount. You know, we're going to have to pay probably in the excess of around 60 or 70 million pounds for James Madison and that. Don't forget there was reports emerging out the other day, like I updated you, saying, you know, that we're willing to offer around £45 million for James Madison. Plus, we are determined to include Jesse Lingard as part of the deal, you know, to recommend James Madison in. But I'm very sceptical, you know, of course, that, you know, Leicester, you know, would go along with that. So we're probably going to have to pay a similar fee to what we paid for Maguire, or the exact same fee, you know, because we paid £80 million for Harry Maguire. You know, he's the second most expensive signing at the club. He's the most expensive defender in the world and that. But to be fair, I think Harry Maguire has addressed our defensive deficiencies. But, you know, James Maddison's been a revelation for Leicester. You know, he's predominantly an attacking midfielder, like I said, but he can also, you know, play out wide, because Brendan Rodgers has played him on the left on quite a lot of occasions, you know, to be fair. And he's replicating this season what he did last season with Leicester, because last season he was a revelation. Last season he created more chances than any other player in the Premier League and that. Leicester only paid £20 million to him from Norwich in the summer of 2018, and James Madison has got around 3 years left on his current deal and that. But yeah, so we are still in for James Madison, but I'm actually, you know, very sceptical, you know, that Man United will get him in and that, you know. So that's the latest news on him. Give you the news regarding Jesse Lingard now. Reports have emerged out saying that Solskjaer has become infuriated with Jesse Lingard. So too has Mike Phelan. Reflects on his bad performance he put out in the game against Man City. You know, because obviously, you know, we lost 3-1 to Man City in the Carabao Cup semi-final first leg at Old Trafford. So obviously now that means we've got to overcome a 2-goal deficit at the Etihad in the second leg, which I'm obviously, you know, very sceptical that we are going to do. The second leg is on the 28th of January in that, and like I said, you know, the Carabao Cup is an ambition to us. I said it's probably our only chances of winning any silverware this season, but it's looking likely now, you know, where we are out and that. Unless we can go to the second leg and replicate a performance, you know, that we showed in the league game at the Etihad, because we beat Man City in the league by 2 goals to 1. And, you know, Solskjaer, you know, give his overarching view on the City game. You know, he questioned the pride of the players. He said, you know, the first half is the worst performance he's seen, you know, especially this season. But he actually, you know, took some positives from the second half and all of that. But yeah, it was very, very disappointing. But I think, you know, our only ambitions now is, you know, that top 4, because we've definitely now got to get in the top 4. Also, you know, we're in the Europa League, we're into knockout stages of the competition, so obviously, you know, that's another route to Champions League football for us. But I've said anyway quite a lot of times recently, you know, Man United need to drop Lingard. Reportedly now, Solskjaer's going to drop Lingard for the game against Norwich this weekend at Old Trafford, so he will not be operating in that number 10 role. I think actually it'll be Juan Mata that plays instead of Lingard. He'll obviously not operate in that number 10, but we need a number 10 anyway. You know, we definitely know I need a number 10, because we haven't got a Galactico number 10. But, you know, Lingard, he's been so inconsistent, and like I said, you know, reflecting on his status at the football club, you know, he should be putting much more better performances out. And this season especially, he hasn't performed to the standards as we should expect from him. You know, Solskjaer give his overarching view on Lingard. This was prior to the game against City, and he actually, you know, says, you know, that Lingard's improving. He said he's getting to his best. And he says, obviously, you know, he's known Jesse Lingard for several years. But overall, anyway, Lingard has been at the club for several years. I've got a stat to tell you, and this is a really bad stat. Jesse Lingard has not scored or provided... He didn't score, or he didn't provide an assist in the whole of 2019. So that's how inconsistent he has been. And he also thought he had a really bad game against Arsenal. That's reportedly we're going to drop him for the game against Norwich. And I think there's a lot of Man United fans saying, you know, that, you know, we should get rid of him. He's no longer, you know, good enough to represent the football club. How old is he now? What, 27, 28 years of age and that. But I said overall, you know, there's still problematic players at Manchester United that do need to be moved on. So I think we've got to get rid of at least another 5 or 6 more players this year. I know we've got rid of a lot of players since Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's arrival and that, you know. But I still believe, you know, there's more players there that do need to be moved on. But I can't see Solskjaer, you know, determined to get rid of players unless, obviously, you know, we can recommend some signings in. And signings are desperately, you know, needed at Manchester United. I think, you know, we need to see at least five or six signings this year if we are to be back to being a competitive elite level football club. And of course, if we are, you know, to be up there challenging for major honours and that, but it's going to be hard for us to attract players to the elite level. You know, obviously, you know how inconsistent we are this season for the vast majority of this season, and you know, obviously, you know, of us not being in Champions League football and all that. But Solskjaer confirmed he does obviously, you know, want to continue the policy of recruiting young players into the football club. So he wants to bring players in from age 22 to age 25, definitely in that. You know, but definitely, you know, there's more players there that do need to leave, like I said. I gave you the news, didn't I, regarding Ashley Young yesterday. A bit more additional information is updated about Ashley Young. Ashley Young. Reportedly, according to Sky Sports, like I said, it's a very reliable source. They have said that we have offered Ashley Young a new 1-year extension, you know, to obviously, you know, fend off Inter Milan's interest. But I don't think, you know, he's going to sign this new 1-year extension. The BBC reported earlier on, I think it was today, saying that Young is set to join Inter Milan this summer when his current contract does expire. But I think from Inter Milan's perspective, they actually, you know, would prefer to get him in this January transfer window. And obviously, you know, we could cash in for him in this January transfer window, don't forget. That would be very beneficial. And it said Inter Milan were determined to offer him around an 18-month contract, which is obviously, you know, like a year and a half. But we are not determined to sell him in this January transfer window. You know, Solskjaer's give his overarching view on it. And he said, you know, Solskjaer says, you know, he wants Ashley Young to remain at the football club because obviously, you know, he's the club's current captain. But Inter Milan have been in talks in the last day or two over, you know, signing Ashley Young. Don't forget last summer, Inter Milan, you know, got 2 of our players. You know, they got Lukaku for 70-odd million. You know, they got Sanchez, of course, on loan. I don't really know why they want him, but they do. But Young's been a long-serving player at the football club. You know, he's now into his 9th season at Manchester United. He's enjoyed 8 years here. You know, he's made 261 appearances in all competitions since his arrival from Aston Villa back in 2011. So Young's been here since the Alex Ferguson era, and he's now 34 years of age anyway. He has passed his sell-by date. Obviously, you know, he was our first choice right back last season, but obviously it's comparison this season because since the arrival of Wan-Bissaka, he's been established as our first choice right back under Solskjaer. So, yeah, just wanted to give you a bit more news regarding that. I think Jones needs to be moved on by the football club. He's definitely, you know, one of the problematic players. I think Jones is probably going to play against Norwich this weekend, to be fair, because I think Solskjaer's recently confirmed that Harry Maguire is ruled out. He's ruled out for the game against Norwich. He missed the City game, of course, Harry Maguire with a foot injury. Don't forget he came off in 0-0 draw with Wolves with this foot injury. But I'm not too sure how severe Harry Maguire's injury is yet and that. But yeah, Jones needs to be moved on. I've got element of concerns about him. You know, Jones, of course, is now into his 9th season as a Manchester United player, so he's enjoyed 8 years here. So he's been here more or less the same amount of time as Ashley Young. You know, don't forget Jones got a new long-term contract last season, which obviously that was another bad mistake from the football club. Rojo, he's currently injured at the moment. Don't forget his Marcus Rojo. He sustained quite a few injuries as a Manchester United player as Rojo. Surprised he didn't leave last summer because obviously there was quite a few foreign clubs in for him. Also, you know, Everton had inquired about getting him. You know, but I think we need to get rid of some centre-halves because despite the fact that Smalling went to Roma last summer on loan, we've still got around 6 centre-halves in the team and that. But yeah, I would definitely, you know, get rid of Rojo. And like I said, he's currently injured at the moment. You know, definitely get rid of Matic. You know, he's one of the You know, he's one of the inconsistent players, and he's initially lost his place in the team due to his inconsistency. Obviously, now he's going to get more opportunities, I do believe, which he has been getting. You know, obviously, you know, with the injuries of Pogba and McTominay and that, so we don't really have an alternative but to, you know, play Matic in the midfield. You know, Matic is now into his third season at the football club. You know, the vast majority of it, he's been inconsistent. You know, Man United paid around £40 million in from Chelsea, so there again, you know, we overpaid for him. But we've overpaid for players in recent years anyway. Prime example, 50 million for Fred, 80 million for Maguire, £89 million for Paul Pogba and that, you know. So he doesn't, you know, we have overpaid for players, but we could try and cash in for Matic in this January transfer window, because obviously his current contract does expire at the end of the season, does Matic's. So I think, you know, we need to you know, try and get rid of him in this January transfer window. He was injured early on in the season, by the way. He had a groin problem and he was out for over 2 months, was it? But yeah, we've got to get rid of him, and he's now 31 years of age. You know, Pereira, he's another one I think, you know, we need to get rid of. I've got a lot of element of concerns about Andres Pereira. You know, I think we've overplayed Andres Pereira far too much this season, so we've got to get rid of him. Whether he plays in defensive role or he plays in the midfield, whether he plays in number 10, sorry, or whether he plays on the right hand side, I think either way he's very, very inconsistent. I think he's had the odd couple of games for Man United, but I just don't think he's at that level yet. And I've got the same perception on Chong. You know, I don't think he's not emulated that level as yet. So I think it would be beneficial if we did loan Chong out. You know, Juan Mata, I think he's enjoyed a very, very good career with the football club. You know, vast majority of his career has been good. You know, Mata has been here 5 years. This is now his 6th season at Manchester United. Obviously, you know, we got him under David Moyes era, Juan Mata. We paid around £40 million for him. You know, I think it was around £40 million for Mata, but you know, he's initially lost his place in the team now anyway as Juan Mata. He's obviously, you know, lost that yard of pace and that. I don't really see the point in Juan Mata being here, so I think maybe we need to consider, you know, moving him on. I think last summer, didn't we give him like a 3-year deal? I think we give him a 2-year contract with an option of a further year. I'm surprised that Juan Mata, you know, didn't leave last summer. You know, there's some people saying, you know, that Luke Shaw should be moved on. You know, like I said, you know, Luke Shaw's been very injury prone for Man United. I think he's had some good spells as a Man United player. Prime example, he was very good last season because he did win the double player of the season, did Luke Shaw. I think we paid around £30 million for him from Southampton. So, you know, maybe he does need to be moved on. And obviously, you know, we've got a variety of fullbacks. Obviously, he's been our first choice left back for so long. But obviously now Brandon Williams has come on the horizon. I think, you know, Solskjaer views Brandon Williams as his first choice left back. And I've got to say, I've been very, very impressed with Brandon Williams' performances. He's been an absolute revelation for us. And, you know, we have got a lot of young players in the squad that are developing and trying to improve, as you all know. And, you know, that's one aspect to me that credits Solskjaer. You know, he has got a lot of trustworthy in his young upcoming players and that. You know, and he said when he came in, you know, that all the young players will get given their chances, and to be fair, they've been given their chances. Greenwood's done really, really well. Solskjaer needs to play Greenwood more regularly, because I don't think, you know, he's playing him enough in the Premier League. And I think as Mason Greenwood develops, you know, I think he'll emulate to like Rashford's level and Martial's level. I think he'll probably not end up, you know, overtaking them. He is only 18. He's on 8 senior goals this season, like I said, so far, in like 20 odd first team appearances. But I've been very happy with him. Like I said, I've been in the games Tuan Zebe's played, and he's done quite well. Tuan Zebe's been out with injuries, sustained quite a few injuries this season. Diego Dalot, he hasn't really been given his chances. He's just come back from injury not too long ago, and he sustained quite a few this season. Obviously, Dalot is a backup option, you know, to Bissaka at that right back position. But yeah, when he went, you know, he will get his chances, will Dalot, definitely. You know, I think James Garner's done well for us when he's played. You know, Angel Gomez, I think, should be getting more opportunities, to be fair. He did come on in the Man City game as well. So we have got a lot of young upcoming players in the squad, definitely. But despite that we've been inconsistent for the vast majority of this season, we know that we've endured our worst start to a Premier League season for around 30 years. I still think there's players that have done well this season. Prime example, I think, the 3 players that we recommended in last summer, we spent nearly £150 million on Daniel James and Wan-Bissaka and on Harry Maguire. I think they've been our best players of the 3 signings that we recommended in. But I think for the vast majority of this season, Rashford's been in scintillating form. He's had some bad games, but I think the vast majority of his games he's done well. Martial's done well when he's played. Don't forget Martial was recently out with illness. Obviously sustained quite a few injuries this season. Like I said, Martial obviously now plays in that central position. He plays in number 9. So obviously now due to that, Rashford plays out wide and that. Rashford plays out wide. But Martial's done well. I think Martial and Rashford are now both on nearly 200 appearances for the football club in all competitions. This season, Rashford's on 17 goals in all competitions. I think Martial's on around 10. Of course, Rashford scored his 62nd goal against Man City. That's in all competitions, I think, since he broke into the senior squad back in 2016. Like I said, I think McTominay's done well this season, obviously before he sustained this injury. Fred, there's still a lot of aspects of Fred's game that does need to improve, don't get me wrong. But I think, he's still done well in some games as Fred. But I think the club should be determined to give him more time. He's only been here since the summer of 2018 and that. So there's still some players that have done really, really well in that. But like I've said on my recent videos, I think, we need to see a variety of changes at the football club, definitely. I think we need to get rid of our current board because our board have been a liability for several years. Reflects on their poor recruitment and their poor selection of managers. I think Ed Woodward, we also need to get rid of Ed Woodward because he also replicates the board. He's been a liability for several years. And I think, Ed Woodward is still keen on recommending a new director of footballing at Manchester United. And, Solskjaer said a while back he was happy with the club's current structure. So his perception was totally comparison to Ed Woodward's. He didn't feel as though that we needed a director of football. But I think we should have got one in. And we still need to try and get one in now. Because, that's one of the structural changes that we do need at the football club. And, for me, I think if we are to get one in, we need to recommend someone who knows the culture of the club. Someone who would be reliable, to oversee our transfer business. Because quite clearly, Ed Woodward, is not reliable to oversee our transfer business and that. And last summer, there was quite a few former Man United players linked with the role. I think we need to get the Glazers out, definitely. We probably need to get our coaching staff out, and obviously, we need a change of management. We need to get Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out and that. And I know that obviously, Solskjaer is a club legend. I am aware of that. He's a club legend, is Solskjaer. He was a great player for us for 11 years. But I just think as a manager, he's totally, comparison to how he was as a player. As a player, he had that proven pedigree, but as a manager, he hasn't got that proven pedigree as a manager, Solskjaer. And I think his actual win ratio is, worse than David Moyes'. But, Solskjaer is worse than all the managers we've had. He's worse than every single one of them. Definitely worse than every single one of them. But obviously you've got the vast majority of Man United fans, demanding him out of the club. Obviously, the likes of the board and Ed Woodward have got different perceptions to us all because I still think, they're determined to back Solskjaer. They're willing to give him this window. They're also determined to give him the summer, to see who else he can recommend in to the football club and that. Because maybe from their perception, maybe they feel as though that if we sacked him, it really wouldn't solve many problems at Manchester United because not all of the blame stems from Solskjaer. Like I said, everyone else has to take responsibility. But like I've said, I think Solskjaer's tactically naive. His substitutions are questionable. He doesn't really have a plan B in that. And, he's just going to take this club downhill, in my opinion. He's going to take this club downhill, and we're not going to get our 21st title under Solskjaer. I think the club of this stature, should be much more of a commanding position, than we're in now. Because, we are the biggest club in the world. We are the most successful team in England, reflecting on the amount of titles and that we've won, and a club, like I said, a club of our stature, cannot put up with this nonsense anymore. So I think we need to recommend a manager into the top level, a manager that's got a pedigree behind him in that. Maybe Massimiliano Allegri. Do you think he would be the right candidate from, who's obviously the former Juventus manager? I think actually it's Pochettino that's the primary candidate to replace Ole Gunnar Solskjaer at Man United and that. But like I said, Solskjaer's, I think he's had long enough. He's been here now 13 months. He's been permanent manager, I think, for nearly 10 months now as Solskjaer and that. And obviously analysing the vast majority of that 10 months, it has all gone wrong and that. Totally comparison to when he was the interim manager, because, to be fair, Solskjaer did really, really well when he was the interim manager. Like I said, he exceeded expectations, the results were good, the performances were good, and he got the best out of these group of players and that. But since he's got the job permanent, like I said, he's really, really enjoyed a difficult time. And Solskjaer is aware it is a transition period. Definitely is a transition period in that. And he said he's hopeful that we can get through this transition period. But he said he does expect us to have a successful 2020. So what he's saying in that aspect is he expects us to have a better year this year than what we enjoyed last year, and that this is what he said. So, and we've enjoyed a very bad start to 2020. We've played 3 games so far in all competitions. We haven't won one. So the game on Saturday against Norwich is our 4th game of 2020 and our 2nd game in the league this year, and that we're expected to beat Norwich anyway. Well, we should do. I won't assure anything because, like I said, we've been very poor against lower opposition this season. I think mainly we've done well against elite opposition, but haven't really replicated it against their lower opposition. Norwich, of course, have only won 3 games out of 21 in the league so far this season. So I think they've registered 14 points from 21 games. They're sitting bottom of the league and that. So this is a game that Man United should win. And we've obviously after Norwich we've got the big one, Liverpool. They're the only team that are undefeated this season in the league. The 14 points in front of Man City, the 13 points in front of Leicester. Liverpool, Anfield now is a fortress. I don't think Liverpool have lost at Anfield, since September 2018. And they did lose to Crystal Palace the last time they lost there. They're set to win their first ever Premier League title, and they're set to end their 30-year drought. So Liverpool have won 19 games out of 20. They've played a game less than everybody else. They've got a game in hand because obviously, with the FIFA Club World Cup and that. But I don't see us getting out at Anfield. I definitely don't. Well, obviously, before the Liverpool game, it's the FA Cup replay against Wolves, Then it's Liverpool after that. But Liverpool's our next league game after Norwich. So yeah, guys, that's mainly everything to update you with. So I just wanted to give you the news, like I said, regarding Christian Eriksen, regarding James Madison, and regarding the latest news regarding Jesse Lingard. On this channel, your Man United Norwich preview should be coming up either later on today, or it should be sometime tomorrow. Probably more likely it will be today, guys. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribing. As always, and take care, God bless, and I'll see you all again very, very soon.